mate, we are joined here by Ian, the future Garry. Ian, how you doing, man?
How's things, pal? How are you?
Mate, all good, my end, all good. Getting these interviews out and hopefully getting more and more each week. What about yourself? How's training going?
Doing what I can, trying to stay fit, cycling like a madman, doing the kind of runs for my nana and stuff like that. Just trying to keep fit and stay ready for when the call comes to resume back to action. How are you keeping?
Yeah, all good, my end. So obviously we're in a bit of a strict lockdown. So we live just south of London. So pretty much don't get out anywhere. I do my trip to Tesco, but other than that,
yeah.
I haven't seen my family in 8-9 weeks now. My girlfriend's up north as well. She's in Leeds. So
lovely. So you haven't seen her?
No. But when we will get things going again, it's going to be amazing. Going to be drive out there often.
I was just on a cycle with one of my mates earlier on. I was saying that once this is all finished, it's gonna be mayhem.
Oh,
it's gonna be mad. It's gonna be sessions everywhere. It's gonna be people getting dragged home locked. It's gonna be a good one. Let's put it that way. We're all gonna have fun, and then we'll all resume back to our normal 9-to-5s or whatever way.
We need to start investing our money in hairdressers or pubs at the moment, because when they reopen, they're going to be packed out for months.
Come here. Pubs are going to be mad. Do you know what I mean? After this all, like, even just Christmas alone is going to be mad this year because people are going to want to go harder for some reason because they've missed out on half the year.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, it's going to be amazing. Well, talking about what's coming for the rest of your year now. So when we spoke back in February, you said that you would like to get 2 fights in before trying to get on that UFC Dublin card in August. Mm-hmm. Now that obviously all of that's not looking likely, what's your plan?
To be honest, mate, and I'm not going to sit here and sound like an idiot. Like, I don't know. I have no idea because I don't know when this lockdown is going to end. I don't know when this coronavirus is going to be over and when the threat of kind of normality is going to resume. So I don't actually know. I'd like to hope and be optimistic and hope that we can get back to action in kind of August, September and maybe scrape 2 fights in. But the plan of getting 4 or 5 fights in this year is absolutely gone out the window.
Yeah.
I just kind of have to hope for the best and imagine that I can fight this year, because if I don't, I will go mad. I will be going absolutely crazy. But it's just annoying more so because it's a block in my momentum.
Yeah.
And that's it. So other than that, to be honest, the time off isn't a bad thing for everyone. You get to spend time with your family. You get to spend time doing nothing. You're just at home. You're having fun. You have no responsibilities, really. You're never going to get this chance again. So just be positive about it. Like, I know it's annoying and everyone wants the lockdown to be over, but like, just take it as it is. Like, you can't change what's happening at the moment. So just think about it positively and just move on. And then if shit gets better, it gets better. If it gets worse, it gets worse.
Yeah.
That's the way I'm thinking about it. And that's the way I'll always think about things. I'll always look at the bright side of things and hope for the best. And if it doesn't come out that way, we'll try and make it better.
Sure, man. So from your end with Cage Warriors, they haven't informed you of any kind of ideas of cards they want to have on or what their situation is at all?
No. I remember listening to an interview with Graham, and he was basically saying that once the ban of travel, so once people can fly and they can travel around the country, it'll kind of be good to go. He'll have within 48 hours. I'd imagine he'd have a card sorted, and I'd imagine he has all that ready to go.
Yeah.
I imagine he's in contact with someone that when this is all ready to go, he has a venue, a date, and then all he needs to do is contact fighters and say, "Look, are you ready to fight?" And they'll either say yes or no. You'll have 6 weeks notice. Let's do it, and I'll be ready to go. There's no way I'm saying no. I don't care who it is. I actually couldn't care less. So
you're right.
Get an opponent first.
Yeah. Well, talking about that, you were meant to have an opponent for Cage Warriors London and Cage Warriors Belfast, but you couldn't get one. You were announced on the card, but no one would fight you.
Yeah.
Any update on that? Was there anyone who actually accepted to fight in the end, or no one?
No.
What is it? What is it with these welterweights not wanting to fight with you?
They don't want it. So there was a couple of names that I know I know the names that said no to me. I don't want to reveal them because there's no need to get into any kind of unnecessary beef or anything like that. And to be honest, if they said no for a reason. And we all know what that is. They don't want to lose. Like there was a couple of people who were a bit higher ranked than me, like more, they had a lot more experience than me, and they didn't want the risk of losing to me, because once you lose to me, and it was a young up and comer, that's kind of a downward spiral of your career. And then there was another couple of lads that were like undefeated, and then there was another lad who was had a very good record. I think he was 7-2, and then there was a lad who was 5-0, and they said no to me, and that's purely just because they don't want to risk losing and getting their momentum kind of wiped away by and taken by me, which is what would happen. But
it's all from Cage Warriors, or they're also from other promotions?
I don't know. I know a couple of the names. So they were just names. It wasn't anyone from a particular organization. There was one or two from the organization, and then there was one or two outside. But we never got a yes, and that was why kind of Chris pulled my fight in the end, because I'd had surgery in the leg, and I talked to you about that when we talked last time in private. So because I'd had surgery, and because I hadn't really been able to get the training camp I would have wanted in, I was still game, and he knew that. But he just, as a coach, sat me down and said, "Look, it's probably not the right decision. We'll get away with it this time, and we won't fight, and that's okay." But no one accepted the fight anyway, so we weren't turning anyone down or anything like that. We weren't upsetting the card. It was kind of like Chris kind of said that when he was on the phone to Ian Dean, it kind of sounded like Ian Dean was relieved a little bit because he didn't have to find someone to fight me. So,
Ian Dean,
and I can understand that. Like, he's ringing everyone, going, "Will you fight this guy?" And he's like, "No." And you're like, "Oh, he's going to kill me." So.
Yeah. Well, talking about your relationship with your coach Chris there, I loved the other night when you posted about the Alexei Olejnik on when he led down. He said, "Chris would kick you in the jaw." What is it like having?
I'll me in the mouth if I ever done that. I love doing that in the gym and training. So when we train and we spar, we do our sparring session. There's no whatever we do in that minute break. There's no like you stand here and you get your breath back. You do what you want. You go get your water. You go fix your glove. You do whatever. I just lie down most of the time because I'm a lazy cunt and I just don't care. So I'm just like that. I just want to fall asleep half the time. Yeah. So the fact that kind of he done that, I was like, I wanted to do that in fights before. But I know for a fact I'd walk in and Chris would just soccer kick me in the mouth, just get up, you tick. And I know he would. Yeah. You know, and it just wouldn't be worth the kind of backlash I'd get in the corner. I'd say, "What are you doing? You take these funny things out." And I wouldn't be up for that. No way. I've had him scream at me a couple of times in the corner for not listening, and I tell you what, it's like you're sitting there and your dad's giving out to you about something you know you've done wrong and you can't argue back, and you're like, "Yeah, okay, sure. Sorry, Dad." So he's I wouldn't want to piss him off.
Well, you've got an amazing team over at Team KF there. You got yourself, Ashlyn, James even was saying. What did you think about James' last win? And because he kind of came on the mic afterwards and said that he was obviously having quite a rough time. Now, I knew when I came up and saw you guys, but do you think he's got his mojo back now?
So I don't think that fight was anything. I don't think that fight was about getting his mojo back. I think that fight was just about making him fall kind of in love with the sport again.
Yeah.
So I know. So I obviously know James well because we train together and we're teammates and we're friends. And I understand where he's coming from. I know him personally. So when I see him train, I knew there was a different vibe when he was training for the 5-round fights. And I kind of think after the first fight with Matthias, when he went in there and like he dominated. He dominated. But he didn't get the decision. And Matthias done what he needed to. Matthias stopped the submissions. He was getting taken down at will, but he got back up and he was preventing James from punching him on the ground. And maybe James is a bit too lazy. And then the decision didn't go his way, which it should have in my mind. And that's not being biased. I watched the fight back and I just don't understand how it was scored.
Sure.
But he was lazy on the ground. He wasn't as active as he could have and should have been. And I understand that. And he improved that then. He was trying to improve that, go for striking and stop worrying about position. So I feel like he needed to get the win back to kind of just get himself back in love with the sport. And the 3 rounds are easy. That just like, don't get me wrong, they're not easy when like you're fighting. Because 3 rounds with another killer isn't easy. But when you're training for 3 rounds, it's a different story. But when you're training for 5 rounds and you're trying to do 5 different blokes or something like that, and you're coming in, you're getting a fresh guy every time, you're just knackered and it's draining, and there's more kind of stress in the camp because you know you have to survive an extra 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of all just got to him. And then the fact that he was a bit down because of the decision of the first fight, and then the second fight didn't go his way. So I think all that just kind of built up and kind of got to him. And I think now he's got the win back. He openly said on the mic afterwards that like he's not worried about the title. He knows that will come again. I think he just wants to keep doing 3-round fights and find out the love again that he has, because he's so good. And
yeah, absolutely.
Even Matthias, right? Matthias and him had a great nearly bleeding 50 minutes in the ring. No one can stop what he does. They just have to capitalize on when he doesn't do it. So he is so good at taking people down and dominating them that he can do it to anyone. And I just think he needs to get the motivation back. And I think he has it now with all this kind of COVID-19 and him not being able to train and him not being able to come over and see us. And he just got the win back at the start of the year. I think he's raring to go. And I've been talking to him and he seems in a good spot. And I love the bloke so much. And I just want to see him do well. And kind of when I seen him lose, it broke my heart. But it's the sport, you know what I mean? Like my nan could knock me out in 4-ounce gloves if she swung hard enough, you know what I mean? Sure. So it's unfortunate sometimes, and like decisions always don't go away, but makes us better people in the end if we take it the right way.
Yeah. So I genuinely think somewhere down the line as well that the UFC's there for James. I think,
100%.
as I said, a couple of wins or even for the Dublin card, I think he will be on that. But what did you think of Graham's recent comments on Eurobash about how, obviously, for the rest of the year now, he doesn't think the UFC will come in for any Cage Warriors fighters?
I think he's right.
Yeah.
I think he's just being realistic. I think when you think about all the fighters that are normally injured and normally can't fight, there's no UFC events on for fighters not to fight on now or fighters to fight on. So everyone's going to be raring to go. They're going to be at home recovering. They're going to be at home training, staying active. That when the opportunity comes around, because obviously when you're in the UFC, you're getting paid good money.
Yeah.
So that money, like minimum you can be on is what, 10 and 10?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's 20 grand a fight when you win. Happy days. But for a lot of them, they're all like I wouldn't know the percentages exactly of the amount of people under the age of about 25, but I'd say it's about 3%. Yeah. Most of their fighters are about 20, 28 and above. Like all the I don't think there's any champion that's under the age of 30. Is there? Am I wrong? I think John like Max Holloway was one.
Yeah, I'd say Holloway, but he's not.
How old is Volkanovski? 30?
30 something, yeah. Yeah, no.
Champions. You know what I mean? Everyone seems to hit their prime in this sport about 28 and then up to about 33. So, yeah. And that's I understand that that's the physical and mental development, and I understand that. So there's not a lot of young people in this sport looking to kind of feed a family. They're just in there and they're hungry to go and they're raring to go. And then the people that are looking to feed a family are going, I need to pay my house bill or I'm going to lose my house. So yeah. I need to fight. So everyone's going to look to fight. So I think Graham is just being realistic with his comments on Eurobash about that no one being signed this year. I think next year is a different story. But come here, mate. We haven't been through something like this, so we don't know what to expect. We've just got to take every day as it comes. And sorry, that's me banging on the.
I know you're one of the fighters who was very much so wanting to get on that UFC card, and you're definitely that's in your future. But how did you feel when this all kind of came along and kind of getting to that realization that okay, it's not going to be this year?
Yeah, it was, mate. To be honest, it was. I kind of knew it was never really going to happen. It was just kind of a like hope and dream. Like if the stars align right and everything goes my way, we might get on that card. But like. It's not a real dampener for me. That wasn't like me sitting there going, this is my only chance to get on the UFC. It's not. I know, like I'm 22 years of old and 22 years of age. I'm sitting here and I'm just ready to go whenever I get a call. So whether that be tomorrow, whether it be 4 months away, whether it be next year, I'll be ready. And then I'm going to make it to the UFC regardless of how long it takes me to get there. I just want to fight, and I just want to put on a show, and I want to enjoy myself. This is what I love to do, and I'm going to keep doing it until I can't anymore, or until I shouldn't, I should say, because I'm
So
going to be smart about this.
I know you're not one to trash talk, but is there anyone in the division that you would like next, or is there anything you would like to kind of work towards in Cage Warriors?
Well, Cage Warriors, I want the title, but that's a bit away. Like I'm only young in my career, and I see all these young fighters talk about the title and stuff like that, and like, you're not getting the title shot anytime soon. Like Cage Warriors model is to build the fighter up and prepare them for the next stage. So like Cage Warriors are looking at me saying, going, this kid's a talent. He's a prospect. If we build him up properly and we give him the right fights at the right time, he could be amazing. And he could look brilliant for our brand in the future when he goes on and he's fighting in the UFC and he's winning and he's putting on shows, and it all funnels back to us and we get advertisement and we get publicity for it. So like they're a smart business.
Yeah.
So then they're not going to give me that title anytime soon, and I'm smart enough to know this stuff. So I'm not going to sit here and call it a title, but there is a couple of people I wouldn't mind, and I've said them to Chris, but at the end of the day, I'm not in any position to call out who I want. I'm only 3-0. I've got to realize that I may be a kind of like, I may have established myself in the division as one of the fighters kind of on the rise and one of the most talented prospects, and that's great. That's amazing for me. But I don't have the power to go, I want him next.
Yeah.
I'll fight anyone that they throw at me, and to be honest, they should want to fight me. I'm the one with all the hype. I'm the one who's meant to be the next big thing. Why don't they come in and try beat me? So surely that's what you'd want to do. You'd want to take out one of the best guys, or one of the guys that everyone's counting as being the next big thing. Why not come take me out? I'm not going to say no. You know what I mean? I'll fight anyone. I'd fight Chris if I had to. You know what I mean? He knows that. That's the way I am. I don't care about anything else. I just want to get in there and fight. I'm a competitor. I'm not a fighter. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't fight someone on the street. That's not the way I am. But if I know someone has been training for this one night, but I'm going to prove that they're not as good as me, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to make a show of them in front of their friends, their family, and I don't care about that. I'm just going to go in there and do it. I don't care about anything else about winning. I'm so competitive, and that's what makes me good. If I lose like a round in the gym, my mind goes mental because I'm trying to think, how would I lose that? How can I make that not happen again? And I'm just constantly wanting to get better and better and better. And this time is nearly doing me kind of an advantage, giving me time to catch up with people.
Mate, that's one thing I love about you doing, mate, is you are so competitive. Speaking about your matchup with Siglia, or however you say his name.
Siglia.
Yeah, you hit him with the head kick, and I remember you saying to me you were disappointed that you didn't land the knee afterwards, because that was
so annoyed. I wanted to drive that through his skull, and not for any ill will. I just wanted it. I wanted to see that happen because I seen it. And even the head kick wasn't perfect. It was kind of foot on the jaw. I just snapped it through. Like, if I'm just sitting here and criticize myself, you know what I mean? We could be here all day. Like, I'm not perfect. I may take the piss and act like I'm perfect, and anyone who knows me knows it's all a joke. But like, I could sit here all day and argue about how I'd want to finish fights and how I'd want to kind of progress faster. But life, you know what I mean? We just move along the conveyor belt to win, and we just do what we can.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Irish MMA at the moment, because you guys are flying. I mean, you've got yourself, you've got Liam McCourt, Paul Hughes, Reece McKee, James Gallagher. The list goes on. What is the formula for you guys?
Well, I think we all just want to fight. Regardless of what promotion we're signed with, or what we want to do and what our aspirations are in life. I think we all just want to fight. We all enjoy the sport. And I think more the sport in general is just something that we all need. I mean, for myself, I love it. I said this, I'll give you a funny one. My mom basically said to me, I was like, Mom, I have to train during this COVID. I was like, I can't stop training. And my dad is a life sickness. And she was like, if you killed your dad and you knew it was because of you, would you be able to live with it? And I was like, yeah. I was like, I have to train, like. And she was like, you're an asshole. You know, like, you're an absolute asshole. I was like, I'm sorry, but like, I love you as well. But like, if this is between me and you, I'm picking me 100 times out of 100. And she was like, you're a dickhead. And I was like, I know, but like, and I think that's kind of everyone's aspect on it is we do this because we love it. And the fact that we can make a living and we can be the best out there, like I know, like the guys in Bellator are making great money, and they're doing some brilliant stuff for the show. They're bringing fighters over, their fights over to the arena. They're getting publicity off it. They're getting a lot of kind of good publicity in the country over it, and that's great. Cage Warriors are starting to come back now, and we're kind of very much so the fighters that want to make it to the UFC, and we're maybe the next wave of fighters. Myself, Reese, Paul Hughes, Joe McColgan. We're trying to become the best we can, and we want to see how far our potential can bring us. And I just think it's a fact that we're known as the Fighting Irish, and I think you can't explain it other than that. I mean, you hear everyone saying it, it's kind of stupid in a way, and kind of, oh, shut up here, the Fighting Irish, just stop. But like it is, I think it's just we enjoy it. We enjoy a good scrap, and I tell you what, you'll never get a better city to come to when you get a load of drink and fights lined up. It's us and the Polish. That's it. We're the best. Us and the Polish. You don't get better fans.
I had a great time in Dublin when Bellator was on, so I'd find it hard to argue with that. So one thing I loved seeing as well was Reese McKee back in November said that he's going to be the next Irish fighter to join up with UFC. How did you feel about that? But also, is it that you all want to get on the same card, so you all want to join the UFC at the same time, or is it whoever comes first?
Well, I can't argue with that. I mean, he's 10-2-1. How can I argue with that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's fighting for the title next.
Yeah.
In Cage Wars. He's beaten Jai Herbert before in lightweight, who's already gone to UFC.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another. And I know people don't look at it like that because it was a while ago, but he did it. You know what I mean? That's something on his resume. You've got to look at stuff like that. So I can't sit here and go, we shouldn't be going ahead of me. Absolutely should. He's 10-2-1. He's been in the sport longer than me. He's made his name. Do you know what I mean? He absolutely deserves everything he gets once he's working his ass off. He's moved up a weight. Excuse me. He should be there. Why shouldn't he? And I can't sit here and be annoyed about that.
No.
He was a pro before I was an amateur. You know what I mean? So
I love the relationship you Irish lads have together. I remember when I met you and Paul at the Unplugged event. I thought you were all from the same team. I thought like you.
No, we all kind of want to see each other do well. I mean, I don't ever want to see someone do bad. Like you see all these people like, I don't ever want to see someone do bad. It's not in me. But like if you're talking a load of shit online saying you're gonna kill this guy and you're gonna knock him out, you're coming across as the dickhead, and then you're gonna get sparked, then it's a different story. Do you know what I mean? Then it's just kind of karma. But I don't ever want to see any Irishman that like I like or that I've no ill will towards lose. I mean, the better they do, the better it looks for me because we're all in this together. Whether we like it or not, we're all connected by kind of where we're from, and it doesn't matter if I like any of the guys from say SBG or up north in FAI. It doesn't matter if I like them or not. We're always going to be connected, because of where we're from. So like. I absolutely love the lads like Reese and Paul and stuff like that, and I'd love to see them do well. Just I want to see myself do better.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't want to see them do better than me.
Healthy competition, mate. Healthy competition.
Exactly, yeah. And I look, they're lovely lads, and I've nothing against them, and I wish them all the best. I wish everyone the best. It's just again, I don't want to see them do better than me because I'm not competitive.
So. One thing I loved seeing as well a few weeks ago or a couple of months ago, was Mark Goddard put a tweet out about rising prospects, and you were one of them.
Yeah.
And we've also had the same thing from Graham, talking a lot about yourself being a rising prospect. How is it to have that starlight on you now?
It's insanely cool. It is like to think about it. I remember saying, and I said this to the lads, when I made my pro debut, Mark Goddard refed my fight with James Sheehan. A week later, he refed Tyron Woodley versus Kamaru Usman. So like when you think about it like that, he's seeing the best people in the world, and he's been in there with some of the best. And the fact that he sees that potential, and Graham, who's seen all the fighters come up through the ranks, I can't just sit here and do anything but smile. I can only take it as a compliment. And if anything, it makes me want to work hard to improve that these statements and these thoughts are right, because that's what I believe. I believe the stuff that they're saying. I just need to go out there and prove it and make sure that to maybe the common fan or someone who doesn't really know me or someone who has never heard of me, they see why this stuff has been said. And I just want to go out and prove myself. And at the end of the day, I'm just in this to have fun and get what I need to get done. And whether people like me or not, it doesn't really matter. But the fact that they're behind me and they're seeing the potential, it means the world. And it motivates me more so than any amount of money or kind of success would, because having people behind you and believing in you means a lot. It means a lot in life.
So talking about a bold statement that was made, and it's one that I can't ignore, was Cage Warriors 110, I think, was when Boylan compared you to McGregor. He said he reminds you of that. So Boylan was known for pretty much finding McGregor in the sense that McGregor came from Cage Warriors.
Yes.
How can you have someone like that compare you to him?
Again, like, what else can I do but kind of smile at it? It's an amazing compliment to compare me to the most amazing fighter in the entire sport. Not UFC, not Cage Warriors, not Bellator, all of it. There is no one else like Conor. You know what I mean? And to be compared to him in any way is amazing. But the fact to say that I'm like, I have the same traits, I have the same hype, I have the same kind of little kind of traits that he has is amazing. And I can't just do anything but I just want to go out there and prove it even more. And that's why I train my ass off, because all the statements like that, because of all people like Graham and Mark and my coaches and all talking so highly of me, I want to go out there and prove it. And mate, at the end of the day, whether anyone believes in me or not, I'm going to sit here and work my ass off because I want to prove. It's all about me at the end of the day. I don't care about anyone else, how they think or what they think I'm doing. It's all about what I'm going to do in my head, and that's why I'm going to get to the top, because I don't care about anyone else's opinion, especially if it's fucking negative. Do you know what I mean?
Sure. I remember, as I said, meeting you at the Unplugged event, one thing that shocked me was how casual you were. Just going around the dressing room, you were so chill, so happy. I mean, there's other guys who were sat there, stone cold face, and they won't look at you. They're so in the zone, and you just seem so comfortable and so natural.
I just love I just love the banter. Like I'd be messing with like Cutman and all before my like my fights. Like the lads said to me before my sorry, that's my phone one sec. The lads were saying to me before my pro debut, I wasn't nervous. I was just a bit kind of. I just was thinking a bit more to myself normally than I would normally be going into a fight, just because it was on short notice, and I was kind of going, shit, did we maybe make the wrong decision here? And I was going, man, now would you stop being, you know what you're doing? And it was just a little bit of self-doubt, just a tiny bit. And I remember then when I was standing there, I put my gloves on, I was done a little bit of pads at the back, and it was literally about 5 minutes before I was about to walk out. And the cutman was standing there, and I just started ripping into him. I just started taking the piss out of him. And the lads were like, what are you doing? I was like, nothing. I'm just having some fun. And they were like, you're just something not right in your head. And I was like, listen, but look, I was out the back talking to like Tim Barnett and all about, and just enjoying life. And then I've always enjoyed fights. I never really get nervous. And I know people are always like, oh, the people who say they don't get nervous are lying. I don't get nervous. I get those little bit of butterflies before, but that's just excitement. Like, I know I'm going out there and I could get knocked out in front of all of my friends and family, but like, I don't care. I'm going out there to put on a show, to enjoy myself, and if I win, I win. If I lose, I lose. You know what I mean? I don't want to lose, but I'm going to go in there and do everything I can to prevent that. So I just enjoy it all. It's a massive experience for me, and I've never been one to kind of get nervous or kind of deal with confidence badly. And yeah, look, you could throw me into anything and I'd be like that.
So talking about keeping in the zone, I noticed you shared Trevor Whitman and Justin Gaethje in the 4th round of Gaethje Ferguson. How awesome was that clip?
It was so cool because I know where Trevor Whitman is coming from, because I've lost one fight in my career, and the one fight I lost wasn't because the fighter I fought was better than me at all. He wasn't. It was because of the mental state that I was in between the fight, and it was the biggest learning curve I've had in my career was that loss, because it wasn't anything I needed to change about my fighting abilities or any of that. It was my mental side of the game. It was I need to cop on. I need to stop being a child here, and I need to realize what I'm doing. I need to put my head down and get to where I need to be by hard work and stop just being a child and stop being immature. And it was the best thing that happened to me because it was kind of a kick up the arse, and I understood 100%. And me and Chris talked about it over the phone about it, saying that it was a very cool moment because that relationship between a fighter and a coach has to be like that. And the fact that he goes, hey, you cop on. You know what I mean? You be a sharp as a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yeah. You need to, it's amazing. And you need to have that. And if you don't have someone who will kind of snap you back into place, then he's not doing the right job. He looked possessed in that. He was like, oh, his eyes were glowing. He looked like he was having the time of his life. And then he was like, okay, back down. This is a job. I need to take this right. This could be the making of my career if I do this right. So it was a brilliant moment. And I really, really enjoyed it.
It was without a doubt one of my highlights as well, man. It was sick. What did you think of the entire card?
My favourite part was when Tony threw the dust of the sand in his eye. Did you see that?
Yes.
That was stand there, and then he just slid and
yeah.
He's psychotic. But it was a great card, amazing card. I thought there was a couple of wrong decisions. I thought Donald Cerrone beat Pettis. I thought Verdun beat Olenek, but he just was a bit lazy on top, and that's maybe why he didn't. Ngannou was just a machine.
Crazy.
2 minutes 42 seconds. It's taken him to beat four fighters.
That's not right.
How is that possible?
I think Ngannou as well is that people say, oh yeah, but he's got no technique. Firstly, I think he does.
You don't need technique when you hit that hard.
Yeah, when you're someone like that, if you get clipped,
man, there's no one that can argue that he's a special talent. The power he hits with is ridiculous. Do you know what I mean? So I just thought it was an amazing card. I thought Bryce Mitchell looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
I thought Vicente Luque looked amazing, and that was an amazing fight. Then you go on to the Kelvin Cater and Jeremy Stevens is a great scrap, and then Cejudo and Cruz, and then Gaethje and Ferguson. It was a brilliant card.
Yeah.
So it was amazing.
Can I get your predictions for tonight's card, just the co-main and the main event?
I don't even know who's in the co-main.
The co-main is Ovince St. Preux versus Ben Rothwell. So Ovince St. Preux is making his great debut tonight.
Yeah, probably Ovince St. Preux. And then Anthony Smith.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
I'd imagine that's what it would be. I'd imagine it'd be Anthony Smith by decision as well. Or
really?
by TKO.
Yeah, sure.
I wouldn't say.
With Smith, is his last fight was Jones, which makes you think, God, that's obviously he's had some time off, but hopefully he can get back in the win column tonight. And then, as I said, I'd like to see him either fight Jones again or Santos for the next person to take on Jones.
He won't fight. Yeah, he won't fight Jones straight away, especially after kind of how well Santos and Reyes did. I'm annoyed that everyone has kind of taken Santos out of the situation. I mean, everyone's like, oh, I want to see him fight Dominic Reyes. I'm like, Santos beat him up more so than Jones did in those 2 rounds. And then he hurt himself, and Jones kind of just went in, seen it, and capitalized on it. So, to be honest, I think Santos and Reyes should fight, and the winner fights Jones. That's the way I think it should be. There is no number one contender. Both of you fight him, you fight the champ. John Jones shouldn't be sitting there going, who am I going to fight? There should be a dead cert. You're fighting this guy next. And they've earned it. So,
what do you reckon happens with Jones and Blachowicz?
Jones beats everyone. Jones beats everyone. Sorry, I just getting a message there. Okay. Jones beats everyone. He's so good. The only way I see someone beating Jones is if they clip him and they knock him out, and it's just a freak, like a Matt Serra GSP.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it just, you flash him and everyone's like, oh, shit.
Yeah, it happened.
It just happened. Do you know what I mean? But I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's so good. And he's just so long. The way he holds his balance and then just cracks it with the elbow. He's amazing. And for me, he's the GOAT. Him and GSP. I think if John Jones doesn't lose and retires undefeated, I know he has a loss, but come on, we all know that isn't a loss.
Yeah, sure.
But if he retires undefeated, he has to be the GOAT for me. You look at his resume, you look at the people he fought, you look at GSP's resume, you look at the people he fought. GSP avenged his losses. He went back and righted his wrongs, and he dominated everyone. There's an argument. They're the only two in the argument for me. I don't see anyone else. So, for me, Jones beats everyone. And if GSP came back, he'd still beat everyone. You know what I mean? He's that good. So,
one thing I love about what you're saying about the elbows, this used to make us laugh so much. You would say John Jones is one of the only people I know who can jab with his elbow. He
absolutely could.
He can use this.
He's so long. His frame, the way his frame is built, he's just so long and skinny, and there's no real muscle on him. As in, like he's not like a Francis Ngannou or anything. He's long and nimble and bony, so like it kind of works for him. So, and like he's amazing at everything. Like his kickboxing and his grappling and his wrestling is all phenomenal. So he's just, I think it'll take either a lucky shot or just a freak of nature to kind of come up and beat him, but I don't think we're going to see him being beat.
Sure.
I think when you look at Jan Blachowski and Reyes and Santos and Smith, they're just not the people that can beat him, in my mind. And if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Jan, probably, with that kind of just stupid knockout power. Everyone's kind of underestimating him the whole way through his career.
Yeah.
He could go in and he could do it, but I don't really see it happen, to be honest.
Cool. Before we move on to our quiz, I always like to ask, did you have any idols growing up?
In which sense? In
the sense of specifically for the sport. So anyone, either their style that you liked, or just in general, someone who you used to watch and they were your kind of idol for MMA.
Mate, there was no one I watched before Conor. Conor was the reason I got into the sport. Do you know what I mean? He was the reason I started watching it. Me and my mates all talking about him in school, and I've talked about this before. Conor is the reason that our MMA in general is so big, because he's a superstar. So it has to be Conor. Like, you go back and look at me years ago, I would have just been a super nerd on Conor. You know what I mean? So it's no one else bar him. He's the reason I'm in the sport. He's the reason I fell in love with the sport. And I can't, like, obviously as I got more into the sport, there was other people like John Jones I absolutely love and adore. I just think he's amazing. And I'm not one of the people to look at what people do outside of the cage. Obviously that kind of hinders their kind of legacy by going, oh, he was an asshole, you know, but that doesn't make a difference. Do you know what I mean? Look at him in the cage. I mean, everyone loves Stephen Wonderboy Thompson because he's one of the nicest guys, and Max Holloway. But, like, that doesn't make them a better fighter because everyone likes them or they never put a foot out of place. Just because someone has a different personality, like, they're still amazing fighters. And, they were the kind of, it was always Conor that was the kind of the initial kind of role model for me. Not role model, but kind of inspiration.
Yeah, personally caught radar.
Yeah, he was 100%. It was just because we would all talk about him. And like coming into school and people being like, oh, did you see that thing Conor said on the press conference? You're like, yeah, it was brilliant, mate. And then just talking about it. So it was always Conor. Well, fighting probably would have been Muhammad Ali, would have been kind of my first fighting, because I was a boxer at first. Yeah. So probably would have been Muhammad Ali, just like float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, your hands can't hit what your eyes can't see, that type of stuff. That was where I took my amateur career in boxing when I was doing that. I was always the smaller guy. I was always the youngest. So I'd always just try to float around and just try to crack people and get out of there. So they would have been kind of my two.
They're great choices as well, man. Right, we're going to move on to our quiz. And now I know you've had a bit of a beef over
here now.
So just some rules on it. All the answers are verified by Google, so take it out with them, not me. But it's 90 seconds. Just answer as many questions you can in that time. And I've tried to tailor the questions more to the individual.
Right. So if I look like a fool here now, you're getting hiding.
Mate, I won't be coming to Dublin for a while.
Don't worry, I'll come to you.
Mate, I'm going to start the timer in 3, 2, 1. So, who was your first professional MMA fight against?
James Sheehan.
Yep. Number 2, who is known as Ireland's first MMA champion and the first Irish woman to compete in the UFC?
Aisling Daly.
Yep. Number 3. Who is due to headline Saturday's UFC Fight Night card?
Couldn't tell you.
Overeem and Harris. Number 4. Who holds the most amount of fights in the UFC?
Donald Cerrone.
Yep. Number 5. Which party does retired UFC veteran Paddy Houlihan represent?
Oh, Jesus. He's going to kill me. Social Democrats. I don't know.
Sinn Féin.
Sinn Féin.
Number 6. Who was the last and 96th fighter to make the move from Cage Warriors to the UFC?
Joy Herbert.
Yep. Number 7. What year was Cage Warriors founded?
2001, 2002.
2002. And number 8. Who founded Cage Warriors?
Graham Boylan.
No, Dougie Truman. Number 9. Which 2 fighters won the first ever The Ultimate Fighter?
Sorry?
Which 2 fighters won the first ever The Ultimate Fighter?
Forrest Griffin
Yep.
and I can't remember the second one.
Yeah, I'll give you a point for Forrest. Number 10. Who was known as the All-American? Or who is known as the All-American?
Randy Couture.
No, Chris Weidman. Who was the first UFC champ from the UK?
Sorry?
Number 11. Who was the first UFC champ from the UK? Sorry? Bisping is right there, mate. Right, I'm going to give you one more question because my timer messed up with that one there. Who was due to headline the May 16th Bellator London card?
Gallagher and Eleanor.
Yeah, that's fine. Right, I will double check what you got there because I think you did well, mate.
Some of them I couldn't hear because I was trying to think about stuff and I was arguing with myself, going like Weidman. I thought Weidman was like the All-American. I was like, oh, it has to be Randy Couture. Do you know what I mean? Captain America.
Yeah.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
I'm so sorry, mate, but you got 9. You're 1 off Leah.
I'm just gonna leave.
Mate, you're genuine though. You're in 2nd place though. So
I don't care about 2nd place, but just stop. I don't care no one ever cares about who's 2nd. We just stop sitting here just I'm gonna go, me and my mom are gonna go have a scrap now in it. Mom! That's my dad there. My dad's inside.
I won't release it for about a week or so you've got a week for it to settle in.
Yeah, well, when I'm annoyed now, and she's gonna wreck my head about this as well.
Yeah, well, you can take out on me next time we see each other.
Who was the other fighter that won the
Diego Sanchez. Yeah,
I can't play. Who were the first 2 fighters that fought in the final? Like, so I was trying to think of the other fella in the final with Forrest Griffin.
But I said there's a few times where I don't have to repeat the question, or I said my timer went a bit funny in there. So
it is. 4 points. They were good questions, though. I like that.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Good, man.
Mate, before we sign everything off, is there anything you want to put out there for your fans or for any sponsors or anything at all?
Just let's get back to normality and let me punch someone in the face. I just want to get back to I just want to get back to work. I just want to step into that cage and have some fun. The next time I fight isn't going to be. I've been thinking about this a lot. The next time I fight isn't about going to be me winning. As such, every fight I've kind of taken at the aspects I have to go in here and win. I have to go in here and win. I have to go in here and win. The next one I'm going in here and I'm putting on a show. That means from the minute I walk out to the minute I leave that cage, it's a show. And that means like I'm gonna be singing and dancing on the walkout. I'm gonna take it seriously, but I'm gonna make sure it's a show. I'm gonna make sure people get what they've thought about and what they want for when they tune in, because we all need it. And I think if we're going on like a Belfast show, who else is gonna bring kind of the groove and kind of the atmosphere that I'll bring? So I'm just going to put on a show and have a good time, and I'll definitely come away with the win anyway because I'm not losing. So I just expect the show next time.
Would you rather it be on the first card back or a Belfast card?
First card back.
Perfect. Well, mate, we look forward to that then.
Take care, pal.
Take care, man.
Great talking to you.
The octagon again.
Thanks for talking to me. Take care.